My name is Holly Jordan. Actually, I go by Holly Rogers Jordan, and the only reason it's all listed in
Thanks, Mar.
Holly, it's easier, is that I worked for a family business for a lot of years that was Holly Rogers. It's a maiden name, so I had to do that. And a lot of people in the Chicago area know me as Holly Rogers. And then when I started my business, I wanted to be Holly Jordan again. So I'm Holly Rogers Jordan, but Holly works. That's probably the best way. My company is HRJ Development. It's a sales strategy consulting company. I started it last August, and I'm not going to tell you my elevator pitch because I'll tell you when we're doing elevator pitches. Now, I understand that you all get points if you do some networking, am I right? Is it one a month? How many are you supposed to go to networking a month? What is Chris's criteria?
1 a week is recommended.
1 a week, okay. Has anyone gone to any networking events yet? You have? Okay, what happened?
Well, one of them I went to, it was at a restaurant and bar sort of situation, and we went and basically just talked with everyone. Everyone kind of got a little name tag, you wrote your name down, and you just talked to anyone and everyone who you wanted to or could talk to. It was mostly about social media and also about technology, so a lot of people were from even different states, so it was interesting.
Did you get any business cards?
Yes, I did get a few.
Okay, did you do anything with them?
I emailed 2 of them, but most of them were people that kind of were already doing sort of the same stuff as me, so I said thanks for meeting me and stuff like that, but I didn't really sell them.
They weren't prospects?
Right.
Okay, perfect. That ties in. Anybody else gone and done?
Yeah, I went to a couple of ones. It's basically the same thing he said, but I felt like that it's more of a conversational thing, more of I didn't feel like that. I wanted to sell the guy. I think more of like building like communication with him. So that was.
So more talking about the weather and things?
Whether or just business, social media in general, but I didn't feel like I can sell to anyone. That's how I felt like.
Because the audience wasn't your prospects, or because we're gonna get into that too.
Yeah, kind
Okay,
of. Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Anybody else? You go?
I've been wondering about 2 weeks now.
Okay. Anyone else? Anybody afraid of it? You know, I say here, networking is fun, really, because it's most people are terrified of it. Again, years ago, when I came to Chicago, I started a networking event for women. Women have gotten a lot better. However, 16 years ago, men would still go up to people and say, "Oh, your name tag and hi," and women were like, "Oh." So it ended up, that was my passion, was teaching people how to network. And the last event we did, there were 600 people. That's how comfortable networking got at this particular event, because I would play games, I made them network. It was really fun. So most people don't think it's fun, I'll tell you that. But it is fun, and it's a great way to prospect. So we're going to start with a little introduction. Your name, I don't know your names, but what school you're going to, maybe your major would be good. And this last question is going to feel uncomfortable. And I'm doing it on purpose because networking is uncomfortable, so we're starting the whole experiential thing right now. Has anybody ever heard of Dr. Brené Brown? She's done 2 viral TED Talks. Okay, she's written 2 books, Daring Greatly and The Gifts of Imperfection. She researches shame, and the opposite side of shame is courage. So how she interprets the word, or what she talks about the word courage, did anybody here ever take Latin? Do you know what the word cor, the beginning of courage, means? Heart. And so she says that courage really means telling your mind with your whole heart. It is very courageous to get in front of somebody and go up to somebody you don't know at all, and keep your heart open and let them talk and you talk and share your heart. So it's courageous to network in the right way. And so we're going to start right now with say your name and your school, and your major would be interesting for me to know. And what does your heart say about why you're here? I'm going to start. You know me, I'm Holly, HRJ Development. My heart this morning, I came really with a big open heart, because this is a subject that I love and am really a good networker, naturally, actually. I'm kind of lucky because it's not easy. So I came with an open heart to share with you what I know, and the other beautiful part of this is I came to receive, because every time I teach a class, I learn from you guys. So I'm here to give and to receive with an open heart. All right, would you like to start off?
Sure. I'm Alex, and I go to UIC. My major is Urban and Public Affairs, whatever that means, and my minor is Economics. My heart says I came here with an open mind. I didn't really know truly what to expect or what we were exactly going to be learning today, so I came here just to learn with whatever you got to teach us.
Good, open heart, yay. Okay, and Leo.
My name is Leo. I go to UIC as well. I'm a finance major, econ minor. My heart says that I really want to improve my networking skills. That's something that I don't feel like I'm really good at, and I feel like it's going to be really useful later on in life. So I really want to improve in that, and I hope to learn some things today.
Good, yay.
Hi, I'm Tanya. I go to Loyola. I'm also a finance major and a marketing minor. My heart says that I definitely want to learn about networking. I'm sure everyone else does. I feel like I'm not good at it also, so I'm excited to learn.
Yay.
I'm Joe. I go to DePaul. I'm a marketing and art history major. And my heart says that I'm here just with an open mind to learn and pick up some tips on how to network better.
Good.
I'm Michael. I went to the University of Central Florida, graduated with business administration, and my heart is open to hang out with you guys for a little bit and pick up a few pointers.
I'm Amar. I'm a DePaul graduate, e-commerce technology. And I came in today basically just to have a structure about sales. Like basically I just know that it's sales, but I just want to learn like basically a structure when I communicate with.
So, why networking? We're going to talk today about, this is what our agenda is, why networking, who are you, be clear on what you offer and why you offer it, determine where you're going to go, because I already heard 2 situations where you went to other people in your business, which may not be where your prospects are, so where do you go? On the spot, what do you do then? And talk about that. How to listen and be present, and what do you do the next day? Next day is critical. You did fine, you did some units, that's great. I'm impressed. So why in person? I mean, here we are in a social media organization. Your generation, I have 3 20-something sons, so it's all about social media in Facebook and LinkedIn and Pinterest and Twitter and I don't know, what's that one that the picture disappears, you know?
Snapchat.
Yeah, there you go. So why networking in person? Well, actually, people like people still. So, and I feel like what's happened is because of all the social network, which has a sort of a block between you and the person, it's made people-to-people networking even more powerful. So I know that's true. You get to know people better than just on social networking. It beats cold calling by I don't even know what %, but what happens is if you actually connect with somebody in a networking meeting and then you connect afterwards, which we'll talk about, it becomes a warm call. It's not so odd if you then say, oh, you know, we met at such and such, and do you remember me, and here's what I think we could do together. It's a warm call instead of a cold call. So cold calls, something like 1 in 300 cold calls, you might get somebody to respond. Now you seem to be having better luck here with your Twitter cold calling situation, so that's awesome.
LinkedIn is,
Yeah, LinkedIn.
the best for us, yeah.
So LinkedIn, because you can get, we're going to talk about that a little bit too, but you can get introduced to people and see other people. It's mutual relationship building. I think that's what you talked about, just trying to build a relationship. And I see a lot of times in networking people do what you were doing, which is chat about the weather and things, and that really isn't what the networking is about. So we're going to make it more than that today. It keeps your business out there. This sounds funny, but I believe in karma. Anybody here believe in karma? Do you know? Yay! Because I really think by having, one of my goals is to get as many business cards. Like I can't wait till I'm through my 500 business cards, because even if somebody throws it away, there's something about the whole feeling that it's out there. My name is out there. So networking in person keeps your name out there with people and your card, or if you've connected in some way afterwards. And it builds your LinkedIn network. And I was thinking how that might not relate so much to you all at this level, college. However, I think it really relates to it, because I just found out the other day that the 2 best places to find jobs are Indeed and LinkedIn. So it is good to have a big network on LinkedIn, and we'll talk about how that ties into all this. So what we're going to do today is write an elevator pitch. We're going to start. We're going to do take 1 and take 2, not take 3. We don't know when to do take 3. But before we do that, we're going to talk about, I say here, why? Does anyone, I'm big into TED Talks, listen to Simon Sinek, his TED Talk also went viral. No, I'm sending it to you, or go find it.
What's the title? I remember titles. of it.
That's, I'm bad at titles, but you can't not find it if you look at Simon Sinek. But what his point was is that in business and in yourself, but in business, he was mainly talking about business. So an elevator pitch this relates to. If I say to you, you say hi, and I say hi, I'm Holly, and I have a sales strategy consulting company called HRJ Development. Okay. Are you interested in continuing a conversation? Not so much. When you can talk about why you're in it, and I'm going to do my why in a minute, and that's what we're going to get to with your elevator pitch. But what Simon said in his TED Talk, very briefly, and it was way better than what I'm going to share with you, is that when you're talking about what you do, we all talk about, in your company, let's say, we talk about what the company is. Sales strategy consulting company, okay? Sometimes we start talking about how we do it, whatever that might be, but the thing that hooks people is the why. So we're going to spend a little time talking about why you're in this business, why this business is different, what differentiates you from other companies in your same field, because what people care about is the why. So an example he uses is Dell computer. Are you all old enough to not remember Dell? And Apple, and we all know Apple. Well, Dell Computers sold computers. Their thing was about what? What they sold was computers. What Apple did was, what did Apple do? Like now you're buying everything Apple. So what is Apple selling? Are they selling computers, iPhones? Yes, they're selling. But what are they selling? What is it that Apple?
Experience, I think.
Yeah.
Lifestyle.
Yeah. Okay, so they sell an experience. And guess what? They also have phones and computers and cool stores to go into and whatever else. And guess who's out of business? Dell. He has other examples. He uses the Wright brothers. There was the Wright brothers were the ones that flew, that actually got the first plane off the ground. They had no funding, no money, no real reason why they could have succeeded, but they cared. They had huge passion. They kept trying. They, persevered. And there was another guy, I'm not going to remember his name, but if you listen to the TED Talk, you'll hear it, who had the government behind him. He had funding behind him. He had all the engineers and the technology, every reason to succeed at getting a plane off the ground, and he failed. So it's like this, the passion, the why, is what really helps businesses succeed, helps you succeed. If it's you, you're saying your why, what is your why? So we're going to talk about that in terms of your elevator pitch, because we all need to know what we do. We all need to know why we're doing it personally and why the business is doing what it's doing. What your passion around it is, like really, what do you care? Why are you doing this? Why do you care? Or why does the company, what's the company's why? An elevator pitch has to be clear and precise, and it is nice to be clear on who your perfect client is, just as you're going out there, because again, you're finding, if you're going to places where you're going to have prospects, not just people in your same business, not to be mean, but you're going to move on, kind of, you're going to. So we'll talk about that in a minute, how many people you want to talk to in a short time. So specifically I want to talk about what differentiates social, because as Chris and I were talking, there were a number of things specifically that are different from any other. There's a ton of social media companies out there, you probably all know. And we can probably name 5, I can name 5, okay? So what makes you guys different? So I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I understand about this, and then Chris, you guys can tell me if there's more or different things, or if you all see something that's different about what they're doing, please, and put it on the board. One of the things is on-site conversational content. So what does that mean? Anybody know what that means? What do you guys? This is good.
This is kind of new. I don't know if we've really drilled them on that function yet.
No, but that's perfect, because this is what, if you're gonna be out there talking about what you're doing, what this company is doing, then it's important to know what differentiating, and I think the differentiation, these actually are relatively new, right, aren't you? And any business nowadays evolves. It's gonna, 3 months from now, I can do this class, it'll be a different, maybe some different differentiators. So, what do you think that means? What do you think that means?
I would assume going to wherever the business is, whether it be a restaurant or like a dentist or something, and just kind of getting a vision of like what their environment is there, whether through like pictures, things like that, but then also like maybe by like talking to like owners and workers and just seeing like their kind of mood and vibe, and just kind of getting that out there to people so they can like be like, oh, they seem like fun-loving people, like maybe I'll go over there too.
Okay, you hit the nail on the head, getting it out there, am I right? Do you want to talk a little bit about it, you guys?
Yeah, sure. I mean, really the whole idea of it is that the most successful posts and the most successful stuff we ever make is stuff that's original to a particular client. So anything that we kind of write and brainstorm on the creative side, sitting in an office or sitting together.
Reality show.
Yep.
In time,
Real-time reality.
real time, thank you, real time. Anybody have any thoughts about that? Any questions? I mean, do you know other social media companies that are doing something like that? I mean, I don't know.
Basically, our ultimate goal in our sales pitch is that, to have someone come on site and be trained in this stuff, you would have to hire someone full-time. That's pay, that's benefits, that's everything that comes with that. And we can have someone show up on your site already trained for a fraction of that cost, and still accomplish everything that like a full-time employee would in that sense.
It falls into the 80-20 rule, like you get 80% of your output from 20% of your input. So we're just doing that 20% to deliver 80% of the output.
Awesome idea.
Yeah.
So now you know that? Okay. Yay! Another differentiator. This is the why. This is the why this business is different. What you're doing and why you're doing it. Ongoing high-end video content using Vine, Instagram, and YouTube. Did I get that right? We only talked like 40 seconds. Okay, quick, make a slide. Anyone want to take a shot at that? Somebody else, open your heart, be brave, give yourself courage. Make a guess. You got a good guess. It was good. Okay. You can't do it again though.
I feel like it goes on to what he said, the Vine videos, I mean, it's part of the on-site process, making videos on-site and posting them on, Vine or Instagram or YouTube.
Okay. And why? Why is
Why
that
would you do
important?
that? I mean, I feel like video is the most, I guess, how do I phrase this? It's the easiest way to view things, as opposed to like a sentence, a video you could like, really see what's going on, as opposed to like posting a picture or posting a sentence. I feel like it attracts me more.
Kind of more personal, maybe?
Yeah, more personal.
And nobody wants to read anymore. Everything's in a, if we can deliver a message in a 15-second video that's really going to connect with people and show the personality of a business, of a business owner, of a staff member, that's, once again, that's something that a sentence or a post or a link can't accomplish.
You were gonna say?
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna say that a video is just add to the experience so people can see, what the specific business is doing. Which is probably what makes Apple more profitable than say like a competitor.
And so can you see where this ties into the why though again? Why, if you're going into somebody's business and saying, you do your Twitter and your Facebook and give you 5 million likes and whatever, okay, that's what we can do, right? But the why is getting a little more personal here. All these things you're talking about, in my mind, are saying, that then let the world know more about us, right? It's still like why networking person to person is still important, because people still like people. And that's what this is getting at. So the why is really about getting your company's personality out there, I think. To me, that's what I think it is. And then storytelling. You want to take a stab at what that is? It's different. That's really new too, and I know Chris is dear to your heart. Do you want to?
I kind of look at it as steps, like first you create the content maybe on site, and then you make it as an ongoing thing through Vine or Instagram. Through that, you do the storytelling.
Okay. And why is storytelling? I'm going to keep saying why. Why?
It's much better as for making the customer engage more with the business. Like it's not like for example, he said that through the night they will put a guy over there that takes pictures the whole night. So the customer will see that. They will see drinks going out or coming, and also food coming out or going. So it just engages the customer in the business and see like what's going on over there. You know?
And it's different than anybody's done. I mean, that's different.
Yeah.
You know, it might make me want to go to a restaurant because I'm going, wow, look at how, I mean, even if you had the truck unloading its food or something, I mean, who knows what it might be. It makes it more personal. So that's the why. Anything else you want to talk about with that?
With storytelling?
Yeah, or any of it, either of you, to add to what differentiates you.
Sure.
Yeah.
The reason we really like storytelling is there's just like an inherent, what is it? There's like an inherent almost need for stories in our life. Like, you know, when someone's telling a story, or there's a good, you know, movie on TV, we just like, wow, I just got totally sucked into that. There's something like within our mind and makeup that just makes us very in tune to stories. So that's the most engaging form of content, so that's the content that we want to put out to maximize our engagement.
And again, it's different. I mean, I don't know that anybody else is, I'm not saying nobody else is doing that in your business. I don't think anybody's talking about it like that. And if you're gonna make this, really get this word out there as you're networking, this is what's different. And so you're gonna hook somebody. Somebody's gonna go, oh my God, I never thought of it like that. Can you talk to them more about it? I mean, that's what networking is about, is getting somebody hooked. So, yeah, good, differentiators. So what I want you to do is take you've got take one, elevator pitch, take one. I'm going to first tell you what my elevator pitch is. It's actually constantly changes, and and they will evolve, and it's different depending on my audience, but I'm Holly Jordan with HRJ Development. I have a sales strategy consulting company, and I work with companies to optimize their sales team to increase their revenue and profit, with a realistic goal of increasing sales by at least 20%, so that the return on investment of what you pay for what I do is enormous. I'm passionate about teaching integrity selling. I really believe that the internet has made this critical, because people come to all of us with knowledge of your business, probably your pricing, maybe, certainly your products, your competitors' pricing, your competitors' products, your competitors' websites. So unlike the old car salesman days, when you walk in by car and they could schmooze you into saying this is the only car. I know, because one of my kids was a car salesman. Everybody comes in knowing it all now, So what I'm passionate about is the idea of selling with integrity, because you have to now, and because I believe in integrity. So I just think the other thing is it's important to differentiate yourself in sales and become their trusted advisor. So if you're selling, what I'm selling is sales strategy, how do I help my prospect understand that I'm getting off my elevator pitch now, but this is what I do. Get them to understand that I actually have the knowledge and can help them increase their business. So it's getting something about passion in there is really, really important. Getting your why in there. Why am I in it? Because I'm passionate about integrity selling. I think selling has gotten such a bad rap. Everybody assumes I had a conversation with one of my kids yesterday at Easter, and he's saying, all salespeople are sneaks and liars, and I'm like, that's exactly what I'm trying to not have be the case. I'm out there trying to make it the opposite of that, but that is the perception. So your passion, why are you doing this? So take, like, 2 minutes, 1 minute, and write a couple of things about the differentiators, why this business is what it is, because then we're gonna so your elevator pitch will be, hi, I'm Holly, I work for, you don't have to put that part down, and I'm doing this, you know, my passion is this is what we do, the storytelling. So take a few minutes and write something down. Joe?
Sure. I said, hey, I'm Joe Madigan, I work at Sioux Social Media, and I was told like you should start off with like a question. So I asked them like, would you like to increase your customer base and social media interaction? And go into how, like here at Sioux Social, we're passionate about creating specialized, real-time, engaging content to boost your social media.
Okay, I love that starting with a question. That's a great idea, because who's gonna say, no, I'm not interested in,
And it
what was
forces
your
them
question
to
again? I wish to steal
continue.
it.
Would you like to increase your customer base and social media interaction?
Yeah, it's good, yeah, of course it is. Okay.
My name is Amar, I work for Suit Social Media, and what we do is we help businesses build and increase their presence in social media through new and creative ideas.
Beautiful. All right, so it's a good start. All right, we're gonna. So we're gonna do this one more time. We're gonna do take 2, and then we're gonna get up and you're gonna actually do it with each other for me. So get up, 'cause it's 8:30 in the morning and it's too early. I want you to talk about the why and a little of the what, which you all have a little handle on that. Solution oriented, feel the passion, differentiate yourself, and then the practice. I'll tell a cute story. There's last year when I started my company, there was a guy in my building that also was starting a company, and we'd see each other, they would appear anyway, so we'd run into each other, we'd walk his dog, and every time we'd both say our elevator pitch to each other, and it was great because I'd be going, I'm up to optimize. Like, okay, it was okay to do it wrong with him, and then he'd say, yeah, you know, try it. So practice in front of the mirror, yeah, practice with friends, practice with each other. Maybe each other is even better because you are all in the same business trying to do this. So to do take 2, just do, if you don't want to add anything, I mean, add something to take 1, you don't have to put it in take 2 necessarily, but just take 1 more minute and add something maybe you learned from each other about what you want to say, because the next thing is going to be to get up and you're going to do it with each other. Stand up. Maybe a couple of you. Do it in front of all of us. Who'd be willing to maybe, and not sound great at it. It's not going to sound great. I mean, what did you feel like? Was that good? Was the second time easier than the first time? When you just did it?
Yeah.
A little bit? Okay. That's why practice. It's going to take a few times, yeah. So who's willing to be open-hearted and stand up in front of the group and share? You can read it.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Alright everyone, so my name is Amar Al-Hibshi. I work for Suit Social Media, and what we do is help businesses build and increase their social presence, their presence in social media through new and creative ideas. And creative ideas can be such as storytelling by engaging our employees in your business, and which results in creating more original content.
Yay! So can I just say, what I said at the beginning of the first slide, networking is fun, really. Here we're sort of in a safe place, right? You can actually read it, you know, you can mess up, we're all saying it's okay to mess up. What happens when you're actually out there? And it happens to me too. I mean, I sometimes forget what my pitch is, you know. So this is about practicing. And anybody, one more person willing to come up and try this? Because it actually gets it stuck in your heart when you get up here to do it, because you're terrified. It does. It does. So if you don't mind being terrified for a second, who else was willing? You will.
Do it. He's dressed for it.
Yeah, he's dressed for it. There you go. Okay, cool.
Hi, my name is Leo. I work for Suit Social Media. I work here because I love being around people that are passionate about creating new things. That's what we do here at Suit Social Media. You know, we create engaging storytelling content that drives more customers to our customer social media websites.
Woo, nice.
Nice job.
Are they getting it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's awesome that you're doing that, because one of my ideas that, you know, is on top of 1,000 other ideas I have, is for each one of them to record their elevator pitch and include that in every sales email and message they send.
Ah, all right, so we'll do one more. We got time, it's okay. You, will you try time? You try?
Come on, Tanya.
Not ready.
Tanya, Tanya.
So who's in acting? Are you in theater?
Oh, I'm not.
No, who's in theater school?
I am, but.
You know what? Can I just say, mess up here.
Yeah.
You know, no baby, did any baby learn to walk before they fell a million times? They didn't try.
I was born knowing how to walk and I built the own house. That was
There you go. But you're different, you know? We all fall down.
For my own bris.
Okay, great. So I'm going to.
Fall down.
Hi there, my name is Bobby. I work for social media. I'm passionate about bringing your business in new online kind of perspective. So what I want to do, which makes us different to social, is that we focus on the storytelling aspect. So we will focus on the storytelling, bringing your story out there, not just your product. In addition to your product, we'll bring your story out there.
Yay, you got it in yellow, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know. I have a highlight.
You couldn't even cheat if you wanted to.
Nope.
So did you hear what Chris just said though, which is really cool and different too, is the idea that on your signature is gonna have the video of your elevator pitch. So this is like for real, you gotta practice, get good, because they're gonna videotape you. I think we did good, did well. Does everybody feel like you understand a little bit better now? Okay. So practice, differentiate yourself, feel the passion. You can feel the difference, for example, if I say, hi, I'm Holly Rogers, I have a sales strategy consulting company, it's called HRG Development. Blah, you know? But as soon as I heard you all saying, you know, what we want to do is give you storytelling content, blah, 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 it's like our energy goes up and people pick up on your energy. So that's really what we're getting at here, is the passion, the energy, that then they go, I want to hear more. Tell me more about what you do. Okay, great, yeah. So this is the next trick. All right, now you got the elevator pitch, you've done all that work, and you've practiced in front of the mirror, and you're feeling really confident about it. Now where are you gonna go? What events are you gonna go to? So these are my things, and then I'm gonna have, I did want Chris to talk about, because you've got a specific area where you want, or you've got something you want to tell them how to do it. Okay. So you can find out from your friends and colleagues, you know, ask around. That may not be so true in college, I'm not sure, but if they know where to go, but that they might. And certainly within each other, this is a network of people that might have found some places that work or didn't work. What groups in your industry? The problem with that is what we saw with both of you, is that if you go in your own industry, they're not really your prospects, and they're certainly not going to be referrals. You know, it's maybe not a needy place to go. Although if you're going because you're getting a class and you're learning something, okay, that's fine. I think that works. So it's really what groups outside your industry. I think I'm understanding restaurants and, you know, if whatever your prospects tend to be, I think it could be all over the place, but how can you find out who is not in your industry that's a potential prospect group? Maybe it's an association, restaurant association, I don't know. But anyway, we'll come up with some ideas. You have to come up with the ideas, not me. How do you get invited to things? You know, I used to go to the Executive Club of Chicago. It turned out to not work very well for me. The networking, it's very stiff. Is it you guys?
I've been to a few of them, and they're like $80 each one you go to.
And everybody's really stiff. I don't know. I mean, I'd walk up to people and be like, me. And they'd be like, you know, so it wasn't really my audience, so it didn't work for me. But you do kind of have to, well, I guess you don't have to get invited so much, you just pay more money. If somebody takes you, don't pay as much. But there are things that I've gone to where somebody's invited me and I've been allowed to go because of that. You might not be able to get into places sometimes. So how do you get invited? Free classes are great. I don't know what it is, but I am on every list for every free class for every single possible thing out there. And I found Aztec, which is one of your competitors, Aztec, has classes about every 3 weeks that they offer on all sorts of different subjects that are interesting, and I've met people there. So that free class, free wine, that works, you know. So free classes sometimes. My best experience with that was Social Media Week last year, August, whenever it was, in Chicago. I went to sign up for a class at the Tribune building, and the problem with classes is it's not really networking. So people come in and they sit down and then they leave. So in my networking passion. I went early enough and I went up to 2 people I had never met before. That's what you have to do, and that's why this open heart thing. And one of them gave me a prospect that is probably going to be a client, potential client. So somebody out of the blue, she's also become a friend. So you can do things like learning things in classes and then networking. I got on the airplane and then I was coming from Boston on Monday from my conference, and my plane was supposed to leave at 3 and it left at 10. And by the time I got on the plane, not only did I not want to talk to anybody on the plane, the guy next to me was asleep the entire time. So, but you know, we tend, on a plane, I have talked to the person next to me and actually engaged in them with what they do and what I do. And not that that's, again, to me that's sort of a karma thing. It's like getting your name out there. They may not even be in your same, they may not be from Chicago, you know, might not be. And then trial and error, absolutely. I've gone to some events that I go, not for me, I'm not going next time. So then tell everybody here, that's not the event for you, you know. Or I have now found a few Metropolitan Capital Bank, I'm going to a luncheon tomorrow, amazing group of prospects for me. It works really well, and they do something once a month, so I, without fail, will go to that. So it's a lot of trial and error. You're gonna go to things, and then since there's so many of you, share with each other what worked and what didn't work. Okay? And then specifically, you have asked them to go onto some websites and look. Can you talk to us for a minute what it is you want?
To find networking events?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've just recommended like Built in Chicago, and I've shared a few other networking event calendars with them.
Do you guys know about this networking? Okay. And,
They better.
I know. Yeah, you kind of all sort of shook your hand and said yes. No, and so you know where he's putting calendars up, but also to go find things yourself. Okay. And my understanding is you get a lot of points, and then you get business cards and things like that. So there's all sorts of reasons to go do networking. So you're all clear on where to find things? Okay. So now you're there. You figured out where to go. You figured out the best place, and now you're there on the spot. What do you do then? I can't tell you how many times I see people, you know, it's great, go with a friend, that's fine, and split up. Because if you've ever thought, is it intimidating to you when you see 2 people standing together to walk up to them and say hello? Okay. So you just ruined your chances of having anybody come up to you. Okay? So if you go with a friend, it actually can double the amount of people you meet. You say, love to, let's separate. And then they meet people and you meet people and you can put your thoughts together afterwards. But acknowledge friends and move on. And if you're at something where you see people you know, move on. Hi, how are you? I'm not here. Your elevator pitch under some kind of control. It can change every time. There's no right or real wrong with it, as long as the passion's in it. Business cards in your pocket. Now, I know you don't all have business cards, and you can get them if you get enough points. So getting points. If you've got business cards in your possession, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to events and people do not have business cards. I can't even, to me, it's beyond belief. Because you're going to a networking event and you didn't bring your business card. So if you've got business cards, bring them. Now there's another idea. If you don't, you want to be sure absolutely you get a business card from whoever it is you talk to, because then we're going to talk about what do you do after the event. And there's a way to connect. But the other thing is, guys have this easier. You have pockets. We tend to not have pockets. So I bought this dress as my networking dress. And I have them in my pocket. And I put the ones that I get in this pocket, and I put my card in this pocket so that I'm easily able to get it. So there's nothing sort of embarrassing or odd about especially a woman going into the purse, and I'll say, do you have a card? And they'll say, oh yeah, somewhere in my purse, and they're digging around. Or even for a guy, have it out, have them really easily accessible, and always bring them. Have company name on a name tag. Did you say at the event you were at, something about the company name? Yeah, I've gone to events lately where they're trying to get away from that. I'm not quite sure what that's about, so that we meet people as people. But if you can possibly put your company name on your name tag, I think it's really important. Use the time in line to meet people. You know, Executive Club, I used to stand in line. I actually saw Michelle Obama there.
Oh, really?
That was really cool. And there were big lines, and I met 15 people in line. So use the lines as a time to meet people. And then my favorite thing is go up to a group of people and say hi, and that you don't know. So my story about that is, and I do this all the time, because everybody at a networking event is awkward. Everybody feels uncomfortable. Seriously, I'm an anomaly. Nobody else likes it really. So you tend to see people standing together forever, the whole time. I mean, one I was at the other day had high boys. You know what high boys are? And so you stand there with your drink, you stand at the table. And I'm scoping it out all the time. So I noticed that there were these 4 people standing at a table, standing at a table, standing at a table, standing at the table. Didn't move for 20 minutes, I don't know, a long time. So I went over and I said, hi, I don't know anybody here, so I just wanted to meet some people. I'm Holly with the HRJ Development, and it's unbelievable, canning. Every single time you do it, they're gonna all be so happy that you did. They're happy because, I'm happy because I meet 4 people, right? Easy, not just one-on-one. They're happy because somebody else came in and now they can get away. Literally, by the time they got to know me, they were all, I'm out of here. You know, nobody can figure out how to get away from a group like that. It's this feeling of being safe. You don't have to go find somebody else. So, as awkward as that feels, have courage and go up. And it actually, people love you for it. I kid you not. You know, so try it. And sometime when I'm back here, I want to hear any experiences. Go up to a group of people you don't know. If you're standing in line, turn behind you and say, hey, I don't know who you are, I'm Holly, and start talking to them. And you'll find people are really grateful for the opportunity to talk to you. They don't want to go up to somebody else. They're saying, thank God. It's like, who here would like to be a public speaker if you could have a chance? I don't see. Oh, good. Yay. Most people are so, like, I can make mistakes up here because you're so happy that you're not up here, you're going to be forgiving of me. Similar to networking, you know, you get out there and everybody's like, I don't want to, a few more things on the spot, what then, gracefully walk away, I say. This is hard. This is why people stay in the same groups, because it's hard to say, I'm here to network, so I'm going to go meet somebody else. It's kind of cruel. So a great one, I'm going to go get a drink, or I'm going to get some food over there, or I see somebody I know. There's something gracefully to get away. Because if you're going to try to meet 10 people in 60 minutes, that's a lot. You need to be moving on. So gracefully walk away. Be open-hearted with sincere interest, warm on purpose. This is, you know, especially you all are selling that. You're selling how to get to know the company as a person. So when you can tell when I can totally tell when somebody's not paying attention. You know, so they can with you too. So be present. And my favorite thing, come with your best fragrance. Now, any of you guys use cologne? Use perfume? Okay. The energy in the world, in the universe, comes off of you. Your positive energy comes off of you, and your negative energy comes off of you. Like perfume, like a fragrance. So I literally, before I came here this morning, before I go to a networking event, before I'm meeting a client, I think, what is the fragrance I'm bringing to this situation? And often it's something mine that I use a lot is confident, calm, and joyful. And you exude that fragrance. So what you feel from people when they're nervous about, you know, they stand at the table and don't talk to anybody else, well, you feel that. Like, do you know what I mean? There's like an energy around, don't come up to me, you know. So go up to them and be friendly and bring your best fragrance. Listen and be present. I'm just going to take a minute on this, but anybody here have mind chatter? Anybody, does your mind talk all the time? And there's a whole book called Untethered Soul by Michael somebody, and he talks about this. And we all talk to ourselves a lot, and we're not very nice. And we take both sides. You know, so for an example, you're dating a cute girl and she says she's going to come meet you and she doesn't call. And so your mind goes, oh, she hates me and I'm horrible and, you know, blah, blah, whatever, all these awful things, right?
You wouldn't be that upset by that.
All the, you know, you make up this whole story, talk about storytelling, you make up these stories right in your head. It could be about anything, and you can take both sides. You can say, well, you shouldn't have called me in the first place. Well, no, you should have because she's really cute, or, you know, it's like this a psychotic mind is a psychotic mind. You would not be friends with this person if you put them next to you on the couch. They would not be your friend. So stop the mind chatter and be present. It's like, just stop it. I'm afraid, I don't want to go up to them. I don't, I'm uncomfortable, I don't know anybody. I forgot my elevator pitch.
How do you go about doing that? You just turn that off? Like, I don't know.
It's a great question. He talks about getting behind it. Like, let it keep going. Let it just be there, and you stand behind it. And just don't pay attention to it. You know what he says, actually? He does say, take that mind chatter and put it on the couch next to you and let it sit there for 10 minutes, and you would not want to be near it. So let it keep talking. Just ignore it. Easier said than done. But part of it is be other focused and not self-focused. So when you go in to meet somebody and you're thinking about yourself and your own mind chatter and your own fear and your own whatever it is that's coming up, I forgot this, or I didn't do that, or I don't have my cards with me or something, forget about it. What can you do to make them feel comfortable? So be other focused is a good way to get out of it. I have some questions, and I don't ask these questions, but in my mind I'm thinking, how can what I offer help you? So as you're having the conversation, you kind of want to think about that. Sometimes I ask what's going well in your business right now, and just see what they say. It gets people to talk. People love to talk about themselves. And in my head, I do think about how might we work together. That's for later. Always talking to people with an element of positive assumption that they're going to be nice to you. They're probably not going to not be nice. They're probably going to be nice to you. They're probably going to be grateful that you came up to them. So always with the element of positive assumption. So this is a big part, and then we're almost done. What do you do the next day? Now, what I know is that I can't tell you I'm pretty old, I won't say how old. In 40 years in business, I can't think of 5 people who ever contacted me after I've met them in a networking event. I think they throw the cards away. Why are you networking if you're not going to connect with somebody? So my rule of thumb, within 24 hours, and it sounds like you did do that to some extent. LinkedIn is the best. I write on the business card. Now, good news now is you don't have to write on the business card what they look like, because you can go to LinkedIn and you can find out what they look like. But maybe something that, they had a glass of red wine and they asked me this question or something, so I can kind of remember something about them. And then within 24 hours, I linked in with them. And I email them only when I'm noticing some people, my age in particular, have very bad LinkedIn profile, like 20 connections and have their job from 30 years ago or something. So they probably won't pay attention to it, but in most cases, LinkedIn is big. And LinkedIn does this thing where it says, have you tried to connect with anybody? Have you guys all tried to connect with? Yeah, I'd like to connect with you, right? So don't just put that. Say, we met last night at the blah, 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 and I enjoyed talking to you about your 2 kids. I'd like to connect. Unbelievable how many people will connect with you that way. So it increases your network. It also starts this relationship thing because, I'm saying research them, and what I do is so I connect with them, but look at their LinkedIn profile. Now they're saying things like, I like skiing, I like this, there's a whole thing for hobbies I think in the bottom, some people don't fill it out. Certainly you can find where they went to school, and so somebody went to, I saw somebody the other day that went to Indiana, and 2 of my kids went to Indiana, so I'm like, okay, so I did talk to them about that. Oh, you went to Indiana, 2 of my kids. It's the same thing your business is doing. How can you connect people to people? Like how more can we relate in what ways? Have you ever Googled yourself? Stuff comes up. So Google people that are my age, holy moly, or go to their website, or I Googled the company and articles come up. I went to a prospect the other day and I knew all these things she didn't even know. It was like how much business they did last year, what problem they had with their foreign imports, and she's going, we did? Yeah, we did, it was on the internet. So research them, because it gives you more to talk about when you're actually connecting with them. And then think about, is there a reason to meet? Might they? In your case, everybody needs what you do, to be honest, I think. Nobody knows how to do it, so probably anybody can do contact. And then create a follow-up plan. You have a spreadsheet, and should they all open their computers and look at it, or how do you want to do this?
are we updating them with something?
Well, I thought when they do networking, you were saying the other day that they're supposed to put it in the spreadsheet?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you all know what he's talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna have to go over that. Put it in the spreadsheet. We were talking about maybe putting NA if they're totally not interested, but you wanna keep them on your, okay.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because if one of the things on the list is to create some kind of an email or a newsletter that goes out. And you see people do that all the time with Constant Contact. It makes them pretty, I don't like Constant Contact. The idea behind it is what you call drip marketing. So these people aren't really prospects now, but they might be. So you want to just keep, I call it touching, like it's touching every once in a while. So the NAs will be the people that get some kind of something every month or so. And if you've gotten to know somebody, even just a little bit, enough to know something they're interested in or their business, email an interesting article. You cannot believe the power of this. So I ran across this article, I thought you might be interested. Don't try to sell them anything, nothing, just an interesting article. I do this at least a couple times a week with people, and people are like, wow, thank you so much. So it's just another way to kind of keep the connection going. And other networking, and you know more than I do about these LinkedIn's. And I feel like Facebook is, I'm playing with it personally. I finally got my business things off of my Facebook because I think it's like having dinner with family and friends. I don't always talk about deeply what I do, maybe, so it's not always the right place to put it. Certainly in restaurants it could be, different things. And Twitter to me is like, it's like a massive party with a bunch of people you don't even know. That's my feeling. So it's okay, just keep getting your name, since I've been talking to Chris, I went from 40 followers to, what did I have the other day, 210 or something, in 2 weeks, woohoo. Are they important to me yet? I don't know, but it's okay. And so the last thing we're gonna do is I want you to write down on your sheet 3 things that you're going to commit to start doing in terms of networking tomorrow. So take a minute and write down 3 things you learned. It's basically 3 things you learned with the group. One idea that you have with the group. We'll start with you, Tim. You were shy, but you could do it.
I said that I'll commit to personalizing the LinkedIn messages.
Perfect. Okay. Isn't that an easy idea? But it's a good one. Okay, what did you come up with?
Oh, I said practice makes perfect. Don't be afraid to fail.
I love that. Oh my gosh, don't be afraid to fail. It's huge. Do you know how many times the people that have made it big have failed? I mean, read those stories. It's so cool. Okay, and what was the other one that was also important? It was personal in general.
I said next time I'll focus more to talk about the why that we talked about.
Why? Did I miss somebody? I missed you. No, you did it. That's right. Awesome. Okay, so what your assignment is, because you're all in school, I figured you could do an assignment, is to email me by Tuesday at 3 o'clock. It's on there. What your most important one is, what you probably told me what it is, and how you're going to use it and why it's important to you. Okay, you don't have to take a long time. This is not a big assignment. You're not going to flunk it. All right, that is it. If we have a minute, we have a question. Anybody have any questions for me?
Yeah, we got time.
Yeah.
Okay.
20 minutes.
So you said you're like naturally good at this. Did you have to work on it, or is it just like something you were like born with?
It's a great question. I always did really well in school, and then I went to Northwestern. And the 2 classes I did not do well in, one was economics, and the other was public speaking. I failed public speaking. So was I naturally always good at it? No. What has helped me is this thing that the reality is when you go up to people that don't know you, they're so happy that you won't believe the reception you get. And then you start saying, look, everybody's so uncomfortable here. How can I make, this is this other focused. Get out of myself and say, how can I make you comfortable? Because you're standing over there miserably uncomfortable. No, really, people. And then he's like, yay, you're my best friend. So So was I always naturally good at this? No, I do think that I'm a friendly person, and I'm a happy person, so those things, which I think all of you seem to have that same quality. So, no, work at it. Go up to people and mess it up. Fail at it. Go up to people. You know, I called a prospect when I was first starting my business, and I totally, out of the phone, I'm like, oh my God, you totally did that. It's like, fine, how would I know how to do it if I didn't do it? You know, so.
Well, I had something because like networking event, because it's a networking event, so people are open and accepting to. If you came to, like if you went to anyone out there and just came to the, hey, it would be a little bit awkward, you know? But because it's a networking event, you can approach anyone. No one would feel awkward. You wouldn't feel that bad or scared. That's what I like about it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. They're there for the same thing. They're just
Exactly,
also
yeah.
afraid to do it. Anyone else got a question?
So how'd you realize that you were passionate about networking and all this other stuff? Like why'd you start going to networking events in the first place?
So I'm a woman in business, and a million years ago, my first career in Boston was training and speaking and whatever. And I realized that women, I started to say this earlier, women were really uncomfortable, more so than men. And so when I came to Chicago for working my family business, I started this organization called Women in Catering to help people learn how to network better. And so my passion in it came because I saw how people were uncomfortable at it. And we do games like, for example, if there were 100 people there, I'd say you can't leave the event unless you've met 5 people you didn't. You have to have 5 business cards of people you didn't know before. And I'd stand at the door and they'd have to go out the door and show me the business cards. Well, it got to be funny. So people were like, I only have 3, or, you know, and then that's why we ended up with 600 people at these events, because they're like, this is an easy place to network, because Holly makes us do it. It's like an assignment. Sort of what you said. So what made me, I'm passionate about it because it's very uncomfortable. And there's times when I go and I'm uncomfortable because I'm tired or something too. But when I can just get back away from myself and stop the mind chatter and just be focused on the other people, it makes all the difference. So, and it became passionate too because it works. Like I get all the Facebook, I get social media and all that, and there's something there's a boundary between us with that. You know, are people posting on Facebook? Sometimes people, my generation, are putting all this good stuff, all these good things, and I'm like, no, really? Is everything that great? Because it pisses me off. But when you get to talk to somebody, you actually feel their, you can see their, or you know, you're sad today. I feel that sadness. So that's what networking became passionate for me. You know,
How long did it take you to get good at this skill? And what did you do to get good at it? Sales and networking.
I would say flunking public speaking.
That's key, guys.
Yeah. Don't so
tomorrow.
Well, no, because I flunked because I got up in front of a group and my mouth wouldn't open. I couldn't say anything, and I thought, this is nuts. Like I actually am a nice person. I have intelligence. I have things to say. I'm valuable, and so I just practiced. I honestly got up and didn't do well, and then did it again, and did it again, and did it again. And same with, I mean, networking ties into that too, because you really are totally open-hearted, putting yourself out there. It's embarrassing, you know, if you walked up to somebody and, I mean, I've walked up to groups of people and they've kind of gone, we're in the middle of a conversation, I'm like, okay, fine, okay.
Then why are you at this networking event?
Yeah, no, I mean, it happened the other day, and I mean, don't be mean about it. I think I said it a little more flip than I said to them. I said, that's fine, you know, so. Practice, all about practice, all about doing it, just doing it. Whatever it is, I'm telling you, it's like, so you guys starting a business, you know, if any of you thinking of starting a business, it's so easy to be terrified of that, but, you know, what the heck, try it. Whatever it is, I'm just saying, anything, whatever it is. Job interviews, this networking thing will help you in job interviews because you'll feel more comfortable talking to strangers you know, about yourself and what your passions are. Anything else? Thank you all.
Thank you.
I really.
Thank you very much.